but that's already gone with game number 3 going over to Tempest. But now we are in game number 4. Haven't seen you haven't been playing here in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while for
Battlefield of Eternity.
That's where we're headed.
Tempest. After we'll choose the map.
So the draft on this map is very important because of the types of damage that you can do to the Immortal. And Malthael is a highly contested hero on this map.
That's right.
Not like first ban material, but we do see him get picked in second rotation oftentimes here.
And oftentimes it was with a Tassadar. So Mighty going with the Tassadar ban, hinting that Malthael do not pick him, or they can even try to take him from the beginning, and it will be Genji. I don't think Genji was the problem last game. It was the entire team comp and the enemy team comp that became a problem for them. You
had Stitches with no real follow-up to hooks. You had the Medivh that just couldn't protect Genji well enough. Abathur coming out here with the Tyrael very early. So, and Abathur was picked on this map in Cursed Hall back in 2015, early 2016. It was Sunny's first ban material. And back when we only had the one ban back in the old days. And now Abathur is going to be essentially paired with any type of melee hero, right? Or even the Greymane is a good choice. Illidan is something that has to be considered now. Even the Zeratul, so scary time for Mighty now that this pairing has come in. They will grab the Malthael though, and that's their trump card here.
Yeah, they want to take it before the ban phase happens, or if it's open, Tempest will use it, or Mighty has to use the ban card, so they're going to grab it right before. And it seems like a lot of damage is going to come in. Lots of harass, the poking from Genji, Uther with the sustain. Even been in Greymane, I think I like this ban actually coming out.
Yeah, well, it's one of the strongest heroes for the race. Going to be good with the Abathur Tyrael.
Yeah, lots of melee heroes actually gone. This will actually force Tempest to Illidan without lots of Tassadar shielding or the burst healing coming out from Uther. Maybe they can go with Illidan with Abathur Hat and the Rehgar is still open.
Yeah, I mean, Illidan's still very much a possibility. You don't have to have the all-in Illidan to make the Illidan work.
But it will be very obvious, and Mighty still has a very good pick, and they can still pick Arthas, which will be the counter to Illidan.
Yeah, and you can't then draft the counter to the counter, right? So maybe if they're going to pick Illidan, they wait till 5th pick for that. Because Mighty has to pick their last 2 picks in the next rotation, so if they don't pick the Arthas blind, they'll be in trouble. Stitches is still very much a high possibility for Mighty as well, with Uther on their side.
And with Auriel fast everything removed, Brightwing actually making an appearance in BOE.
Interesting. So on this 2-lane map, she gets solo soak, get the extra EXP, then teleport in for the fights. Also, can polymorph Genji, but that's the only real target for that. A weird pick, to be honest. I was really expecting the Rehgar.
There were some changes to Brightwing, especially with the E and also the 13 talent, giving some armor now over the few seconds. I think it's a pretty good buff, but you don't even have to, and you end up going ice block against all the dive comp. So
yeah,
that's very unusual, even with Abathur on this map with 2-lane. Maybe Emerald Wind to counter the dive. I think that's an okay option. But let's wait and see what Hyde has in plan on his mind.
Well, they are on Mighty's side waiting for the last second to grab the Tychus there. And they have the Muradin. They have a really good draft for the objective. I'm liking the draft of Mighty way more, and I almost feel like no matter what Tempest picks, I'm just not going to like it as much.
They took both % damage, and they need a lot more damage. And looking at the draft from Mighty, Genji, Malthael, Tychus looks scary right now.
Is it going to be Illidan just the 5th pick?
With
only solo support?
Liming squishy, Brightwing squishy, Abathur of course squishy.
And then Tyrael is going to die to all the % damage. So focus Tyrael first if you're Mighty. You kill the Tyrael, you win the fight.
What's it gonna be like? Something like Sonya coming in, or Artanis with H82?
That would be cool. I could get behind that, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. And with the percent-based damage, Artanis is a tough call, right? He's so tanky, but he'll take so much damage from the Tychus and the Malthael. What's it gonna be? Time's up. Falstad. This is a horrible trap. Look at Hyde's face too. He's just like, well, forehead or not forehead. Failfish. This is not a good draft for Tempest. I think they know they kind of fell apart there at the end. Didn't want to draft the Illidan into this, and this is going to be a potentially one-sided game for Mighty. We'll see though. Tempest on match point. Can they make this wonky, crazy double global comp work and close out the series? We're going to find out right now on BOE. Tempest has Hyde on Brightwing, 1 global, Honkono on Leeming, Lockdown on the 2nd global on Falstad, Sign on Tyrael, and HA2 on the 3rd global of Abathur.
And in red, Mighty Joker on Muradin BDG on Genji, Good on Marthiel, Nasang on Uther, and Magi on Tychus with 0. Negative global.
I don't know if they can be negative global. Well, I guess you could, if you added it that way, it would be like Tempest got an extra global.
They don't really have good utility other than Genji, so
I think
they hard macro out and exit escape perfectly. I think they can, but this is still a 2-lane map, and it's very tough. And if they keep on macroing, they will be losing the Immortal though.
Well, the objective base composition for Mighty, I think, is the better one overall, right? Because like you said, they could be soaking a lot, but they're not going to be winning the races unless they get picks, which this comp is going to struggle to do. Joker gets that last-minute heal. That was really well done, actually, by Tempest, so they crushed that fight.
Skill shots landing every single one, and Hyde's healing, AoE healing has been helping, just having everyone around him. Seems like Brightwing is going to the Q build, too.
Also, the solo lane, just leaving Abathur there, is going to eventually become a pain for Tempest. That Malthael is crushing that up there, destroying it. And Abathur's going to have to reposition. Like I've said, somebody else up there. But the lane is always going to be pushed. So it's locked down. It looks like you might be going up there after hearthing for mana. JJ2 is just trying to symbiote to keep the towers alive. So much ammo already lost on those cannon towers.
I was thinking maybe we'll have Mage Falstad with the Q build, possibly, but not even going for the Q build, and we're going to see Marksman. Okay, let's wait and see what Tempest has in mind. From the draft, of course, as we know it right now, it seems a little wonky.
Well, also we know based on the reactions of the players' faces on the player cams that they weren't happy with it, and I think something went wrong. I don't think this was a plan. It's like, aha, and then we'll pick Falstad 5th, and they won't even know what to do. So this definitely did not go according to plan. Maybe they really just wanted to center it around the gray main, and the ban came out.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Malthael solo has been doing tons of damage. Look at the health bar. Will be close maybe if Honkono hits a few more, but using all the skills to harass BDG right now.
Looks like it's going to be almost dead even here for halftime. So 400 ahead on the side of Tempest. But this is with 4 versus just the 1. If anything goes wrong at all for Tempest at any moment, it's going to be a very different story. And look, now when you put the 4 with Malthael for the race, obviously that's when the different story commences. So I'm going to see the win here just by 200 health because of the lead that Tempest started with going into this one. And let's see how this pairs out for the rest of the game. When you look at Tempest's draft, you can poke holes in it really easily. You look at, what's the Abathur for? You know, we're going to see a Brightwing Polymorph gank with the Abathur hat? I don't think so. Falstad could soak and split push lanes, but not really all too strong otherwise. Better options for the race. Greymane was taken away. Vala was still available. And then Tyrael. Who's he really trying to protect here? What's the Sanctification going to be doing in these fights? It's still going to be strong, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that pair they just didn't get.
And they're onto the chase with dive from Sign. Nasang Polymorph will get the kill, actually, at the very end.
Huge Arcane Flare connection. He did upgrade that at level 1, and the max range coming in from Honkono was just not missing.
And Honkono's skill shots has been just almost perfect in this game so far. Did have to use a lot of the mana, no skill shots coming out from Honkono at all. So knowing that Mighty is going to jump right in.
Honkono just waits to have like just enough mana for 1 Q and throws it out before leaving.
Like
it's like the only one.
Left.
The only one that hits actually, or misses rather. Well, I mean, when you see fights like that, it's not really telling of the draft because Honkono, as I said, was out of mana. Now these Hearthstone, we have a more reasonable expectation for the next fight. So just a very neutral game right now. Obviously, Uther solo laning top is not ideal, but they do get the camp to push. Does a little bit of extra damage, but not really threatening the fort. Level 7 is going to be hit just slightly faster for Tempest because Abathur had the better soak.
And because they know Tempest is spending all the resources just Ab at top, they're starting this camp already. That's a little early, and Tempest seems to be smelling this right now. Sign does spot in. Perhaps in the perfect timing. Lockdown does find the kill.
Very nice read here by Tempest. They get the steal. They get 1 kill. And that was a sick block by BDG, by the way, knowing that Joker might have bitten the dust if that was a better hit there.
That was a smart play by Mighty, too, because they wanted that rotational going way before Immortal spawns, because there's no one at top right now, but Tempest outsmarting them, reading that perfectly. Well done.
Really
That's
well
the
done.
power of Global coming in.
That's the power of Globals there. Also the power of just understanding the map, movements, basically good macro play that Tempest is so famous for. Wasn't always what they were famous for. You look back at 2016, but nowadays, one of the reasons why they're heralded as top 3 in Korea. So now they have this nice advantage that they started kind of this on even terms, the Immortals. Forced Mighty to go back. Unfortunately, they didn't get much done during that time, but here we go again. Lockdown's going to go for the gank. It's gank Falstad, man. It's Abathur Falstad. Abathur
right.
Falstad, he just comes in with a symbiote. He's like, oh, you are alone and you are dead.
Yeah, that has been the problem a little bit for Magi, actually. You can see with the Immortal stun, finds himself on the other side, but will have the strike. But good, cannot get away. Even Pauline, the heal comes in. Will he be able to? He does at the end. Very dangerous, actually. That chase was real.
Maybe this becomes a thing, G-Clef, where we just have this teleport meta.
5 global. Remove Tyrael, bringing the Haka.
Yeah.
Get Leaving out, bringing Illidan for the hunt.
I think you might be onto something here.
Who knows? In 2 months, maybe we'll have all global meta. You know, it always changes.
Hey, a few years maybe will be enough. We have a whole global game, 10 global heroes in the game.
Yeah, we may actually.
So level 10 is going up here faster for Tempest. They still struggle though, as you can see with the Immortal race because of Malthael, but they were going to retake it. Coming over here with this fight, trying to get the extra soak to 10 with Abathur when he can. Okay, Malthael's the first to go down. Li Ming's getting resets. Honkono's accuracy so good today. Joker looks to be the next to fall. It's another reset here for Honkono. Gets that max range skill shot. Well, not max, but close to max range. This next one might be the one. The stun coming in for Nasong. He still gets some missiles and gets the kill right before he gets over the gate. Nasong trying so hard to peel there, trying to get the stun. And that's enough to get them level 10.
And with the wave of force, that will secure be enough and more for the kill. They're going for the race as Malthael is dead from the beginning of the fight. They couldn't really do much more damage onto Tempest Immortal. And Tempest will get this Immortal now.
I mean, it's a whole EXP bar that Mighty's going to have to fight through before they even have 10. They're not going to have it for the defense. And because they have Li Ming and Falstad, they have decent siege with the Immortal, so the Immortal is going to get a lot of work done. It's got decent shields. Sure, Good can burn through it very quickly, but it's going to force him to be in risky positioning. Even dropping the E out here made him pretty vulnerable for a second. Lockdown could have tried to go for the Flight Gust to kill him. And they just can't even really get close to the Immortal, as you guys can see. It's the Fort that's doing the majority of the damage to this, not the Heroes of Mighty, who just have to sit back and wait. And Malthael goes to the top late, actually, so they missed a lot of soak up there, too. It's pretty disastrous for Mighty right now.
See the damage coming in. If they are very pressured, then they're below level 10 right now, so they have to be back. But after 10, after when Mergen has the Avatar who can soak all the damage coming out from Falstad and Leeming, and Joker is already positioning himself onto the side. It takes a while to get actually 10. Malthael is soaking on top. And here's, seems like Joker will make the push.
Hey, they want this keep really badly. Are they going to overextend for it, though? Lockdown gets slowed. He has to Gust here.
There's Tormented Soul, but Poly for the time being, but it does continue onto multiple targets. There's an Emerald Win.
But he doesn't have Blink Heal. He barely gets out of there before the Suns come in.
Okay, now we see a little bit of what Tempest was trying to do. They have all the teleport, they have the phase shift, they have all the flight available. So when the dive comes in, they can all just escape and try to out-macro the entire team, the entire game.
And that was a really scary moment. They almost got wiped there trying to overextend. And the most important thing for Mighty is the keep still standing. When the keep still standing, it means that the pressure that they were looking to get with that push is not going to be there. So Tempest is going to hit 13 soon. They're still massively ahead in this game, but they didn't have that almost second to last nail in the coffin, if you will, with the keep advantage. They're going to invade this camp, though. Looks like Mighty is still willing to stay here and take it.
Joker still has Avatar available. He didn't have to pop it last time.
Lockdown and Hong Kong are a DPS duo out of this world today. Done with that perfect Q there.
It'll be super hard to actually, for Uther to go all the way in and hit that Divine Storm onto all of them. Because they have so much teleport, so much utility on Tempest Storm. Not Tempest Storm, Tempest side.
So they want this keep. They're trying to siege it down. They have really good siege with these heroes, but Mighty is just not going to give it up. They have to walk away again. Would have been so nice to have the keep pressure during this Immortal phase. So nice, but it will not happen. Maybe you could see Abathur come over there and try to symbiote his way into getting it, but they're babysitting that wave so hard right now. Mighty looks to clear some of these. They're going to even send the cap as well to try to look for that. Very difficult for Mighty to keep that keep alive, but they have prioritized it so much. They have protected it so much.
Thing is, without the globals, with 3 globals on the other side, Mighty cannot really close the gap, and oftentimes Magi is getting caught and getting so much shields. There's a sanctification for himself and also for the team to come in. Will is trying to survive, does not get it any rip.
That doesn't really get the rips to get the heals
There's
there.
A Poly for a second kill.
Honkano with the resets here. Nasang with the Divine Storm to try to save his teammates yet again. This time he's more successful than the last time he tried to save BDG. But this is a huge win for for Tempest. The double kill, 3 levels ahead now in scaling, and the Tigers coming over here to push down this this keep now that we were talking about. Was protected so much. Looks like they might barely save it here with BDG, but it's not going to last much longer. And while they defend the keep, the Immortal's going to come up anyways. This is pretty brutal. Mighty, I thought, really had the better draft. Massively. But the triple globals really working out for Tempest here. They're winning the team fights. But I have to say, it's all Hong Kong. And again, BDG. He gets the kill. He's smashing them.
H82 is making this work like it. No, that's the clone, so doesn't really matter if he gets to fight, but he's pushing these waves, though. That's the thing. They're really making this triple global into a quadruple global with H82 cloning.
Yeah. Wow. He almost got it.
Almost got it.
Had he come earlier, would have had it for sure. Anyway, they're going to get it eventually. Slapathur could get it at this point. Might be worth his death timer.
Yeah, that too. Lockdown, and not just Lockdown. Honkano on those skill shots, Lockdown on the perfect flights, hide on that Poly. The teamwork is insane coming out from Tempest, and Mighty seems to be losing it now.
I mean, it's totally out of their hands. They just have to sit back and defend this. Malthael makes sure the keep survives in the bot lane for now, but he's coming up. Winning a team fight 3 levels down is going to be pretty much out of the question, but they're going to try to do it. They hit the Stormbolts and all the stuns on the sign, but he just casually walks away. He's the tank here, not the target they wanted. 4 levels of scaling ahead now in HP too. HP, damage, everything. Talking really a 16% advantage.
They're making an engage onto Cleanse onto Falstad. Will he survive? There's a good gust onto Lockdown. He will be safe, and Genji, Polymorph, gets blown up.
Oh, huge Divine Storm though. Honkono's been the one who's ready to fight.
Sanctification is perfect!
And Mighty just disappears. They are done. It is over. That sync was perfect. Honkono in such raw form tonight. And that is going to be the end of this final game here. Thought we were going to a game 5 when I saw that draft, but they made it work. They smashed it, they crushed it. And what was once our most one-sided game of the series, it is actually, in fact, a perfect game for Tempest. They win with this draft, a perfect game, and take the series.
That was insane teamwork. That team comp needed the teamwork, and they've done it perfectly with all the skill shots landing on the perfect target, the focus. Mighty seemed to be very puzzled from the beginning, and every time they try to make engage, there was an Emerald Wind, there's the Gust. There are so many tools for them to actually make them disengage. This is the counter to what we see. This is the counter to dive. I think we're likely going to see more of this. I would love to see more of this coming out from Tempest, not just from Tempest, from other teams from Korea and all regions too.
The globals were nice. We saw a lot of extra Abathur soaks specifically. The fights were good. So they were always kind of winning these fights even with only the Abathur symbiote before 10, and they were winning the fights. And then after that, the soak just started to compound. It got further and further ahead. But for me, my MVP of that game was Honkono. I feel like they could have won. If he's playing like that, the Sanks are also there to protect him. Doesn't matter if they went for the last pick Falstad or not. Like, I feel like you can make that draft work. You can make any draft work when these players are playing as well as we saw there.
Yes.
Lockdown's Falstad was really good too. It's his favorite hero. It's the hero he's been most famous for his career. But I gotta say, my MVP is Honkono. I want to hear from him today. Hyde would be someone else I want to hear for because it seemed like
That's my choice.
Yeah, Hyde was making some really sick plays. He also seemed to be the one who was making the decisions in that draft. So I'd like to see what he has to say about that.
I think the biggest one was when Lockdown Mighty was going for the secret camp timing. The Lockdown came at exactly at the perfect time when camp was almost over. Got that kill onto Martheo, and Snowball started from that point on. That kind of shot call need boldness. You need the awareness on the map. Of course, 2-lane map, it's a little bit easier to read when you do not see Martheo off the map. But that timing was crucial, and the game started snowballing from that moment on, and Tempest did not let go. And having the Emerald Wind, the teleport meta, the disengage meta, whatever you call it, it worked perfectly.
It worked so well, man. And now Tempest takes the wins. They look to be the stronger team. You know, going into this tournament with the roster swaps and everything else, a lot of people are saying maybe Mighty is going to take the 3rd place spot. It's not over yet. We're still in early days, but that's the best indication we've had so far. We're going to jump to that interview with our MVP. We'll find out who is selected and what he has to say. Jacob's going to translate.
자, 템페스트의 사인 선수와 인터뷰를 하겠습니다. 오늘 승리 진심으로 축하드리겠습니다.
Congrats, Sign, for today's win. Thank you.
자, 템페스트 나오면 우리 형욱 해설이 인터뷰를 잘 못하시는데 한번 해보세요 오늘.
And of course, O-Prime on the left, the previous coach for Tempest Storm,
자, 오늘
Tempest.
마이티를 꺾었는데 승리 소감이 어떠십니까?
How does it feel to win against Mighty today?
마이티랑 좀 비교를 많이 당했어요.
We've been compared with Mighty oftentimes.
템페스트보다 높다 이런 느낌이
And,
많아가지고.
and some feedbacks were even Mighty was stronger than
근데
Tempest.
오늘 이겨가지고 되게 기뻐요.
So after hearing that, of course, today's win feels a lot better.
나오고 이제 빛날이 나오고 폴스타트 나오고 막 그랬을 때
네.
전부 다 저희 해설들이 그리고 아 이거 이 픽 위험하다. 이거 안 된다.
And after watching all the draft, especially the last game, the draft, the Korean casters was also saying this draft seems very weak.
어떤 픽을 가져오든 간에 싸움은 이길 자신 있어요. 근데 이거는 운영적으로 확실히 좋고.
This one is more. We're also capable of team fighting. I think we are very good at team fighting too with the teamwork. But this one was a very macro based also.
스타일리시한 TDL이 뭔지를 보여줬고.
어그로 핑퐁이 무엇인지.
And I showed what Tyrael was all about with the perfect sanctification.
아, 네. 원래 제가 TDL은 진짜 자신 있어가지고.
And I'm super confident on Tyrio.
네. 그래서 이제 궁금한
So we were
거는
confident going
해파리
into game number
선수가
4.
이제 예전에 같이 게임할 때 사실 목소리가 좀 힘이 없고 그랬거든요. 근데 요즘 힘이 생겼어요.
Before when I was with you guys on the team,
행복 키오스 하고 있죠.
요즘에 진짜
네.
행복해 보이는 것
didn't
같아요.
have too much power in your voice before, but seems like you're having a lot better time with the new roster.
마스터를 못 찍었어요, 해파리가. 근데 다이아인데도 되게 행복하고 항상 행복한데 이제
H82 could not get into the master. He's still a diamond, and which is very big disappointment for him. But he's still very happy with the team.
이제 들어갈 수 있는 안정권이라고 좀 생각을 하십니까?
And with the
네,
win today, do you
3위
think
안에는
you'll be
들어갈
in
수
top
있을
3 for sure?
경기를 해보니까
네.
I think after
근데
today's
이제-
match,
좀 더
especially.
얘기할게요.
하세요.
근데 이제 저희가 다음에 블랙이랑 경기가 있어요.
네.
And next
근데
up is
블랙을
actually
이기면은
against
1위까지
Black.
노려볼 수 있다고 하더라고요, 다들. 그래서 좀 욕심이 나긴 한데
And
좀 떨리는 것 같아요, 계속.
I do want to go against Black and push us a little bit towards the top spot, and we'll definitely be in top 3
그러다가
though.
지금 리치 선수 피지컬이 딱 물오른 상태인 것 같아서
I think Rich
그걸
with the
어떻게
mechanics
상대할 수
is
있을지가 좀 의문이에요.
climbed up
그래서
super
이제
high with his
다음
mechanics
주
right now.
금요일이죠. 네, 다음 주 금요일 첫 경기에 이제 블랙과 만나는데
And last
어제
Friday,
경기
next
혹시
Friday, the first one
보셨나요?
will be
네,
against
어제
Black.
경기 봤어요.
그러면서
Did
혹시
you watch
블랙
yesterday's
상대로
match?
이렇게 하면 이길 수 있겠다라는 힌트 같은 거
Did you get any hints or
어,
clues to
근데
how to
어제
beat
경기는
Black?
전 솔직히 벤픽은 마이티가 다 이겼다고 봤거든요.
After watching
근데
yesterday, I
블랙이
thought
피지컬에서
Mighty won
압도하길래
draft all the time.
우선 기본적으로 깔고 가야 될 게 벤픽은 이겨야지 좀 어느 정도 해볼 수 있을
네.
것 같아서 벤픽을 좀 노력해야 될 것
But I
같아요.
think
여기서 한 가지
to compete against Black, I think we have to win starting from the draft. So I think drafting is very important against Black.
벤픽은 마이티가 이긴 것 같으세요? 아니면 우리가 이긴 것 같으세요?
제가 벤픽을 좀
Do you think-
열심히
do you want
짜왔어요.
draft
근데
against Mighty
거미왕
today,
때는
though?
벤픽이 좀 꼬였고 그 판은 진 것 같은데 그 판 말고는 다 이긴 것 같아요.
Well, the
그래서 사실 잊고 있었는데
Spider Queen was not the best one, but except for that one, I thought we had a pretty good drafting against them today.
근데 저희 팀은 우선 메이지를 진짜 잘 써요.
We like to use a
원래
lot of
락다운
mages,
선수는 메이지를 진짜 잘 썼는데
Especially
이번에
Lockdown was
홍콩
really
선수도
good.
메이지를 진짜 잘 쓰더라고요.
네.
근데
and even Onkona was
셀타스
pretty good
같은 경우는
today.
시치기도 들고 있고 좀 더 딜도 좋고 그래서 살기만 하면 좋아가지고 저희
If you
팀
can
선수들
survive
이렇게
during the
뽑았어요.
team fight, you can put out a lot of the
자, 이제
damage. So I think mages are
다음 주에
pretty
이제
good.
분명히 이제 그렇게 말씀을 하실 건데 다음 주에 이제 또 MVP 블랙하고 이제 경기도 있을 테고
Of course, with
이제
the
어떻게 뭐
upcoming
이길 자신
match
있는지
against Black,
가볍게
let's hear your last
부탁드리겠습니다.
strong final words
마지막으로
going against
팬들에게도 또 한마디 해주시고요.
Black next time.
원래 블랙이 진짜 잘해가지고 어떻게 하면 이길지 좀 생각을 못 하고 있었어요.
And
근데
it was
오늘
really hard to
경기도
predict
보고
how we're going to
연습하는 거
beat
보니까 저희
Black.
팀
It was
선수들이
really
지금
tough.
제일 잘하는 것 같아요.
And I think they are the best team right now.
네.
잘하면 좋은 경기를 보여드릴 수 있을 것 같고
And
저희
we'll
팀을
try
응원해주시는
best to
팬분들 되게
actually
많아요.
go
트위치
against Black.
방송을 해도 되게 와주시는 분들도 많고 응원해주시는 만큼
And lots
좀
of
더
fans
좋은
come
경기로 보여드릴 수
actually
있게
come near the venue to
노력하겠습니다.
actually cheer us
자
up.
오늘 말씀 진심으로
Thanks for rooting us
감사드리고
all the time, and we'll
승리
try our
진심
best.
축하드리겠습니다.
감사합니다.
자,
All right,
지금까지
so
템페스트
good to see the
사인
confidence
선수와
coming
자,
out,
이제 저희는
at least
오늘
for the
두
majority
번째
of the interview there for
경기를
Sign.
보도록
Not so much confident about their match against Black, but they were able to take the 3-1 with that crazy draft there. No one could have predicted that. You know, myself, you, Korean commentators all baffled by the draft.
Even Korean commentators seemed like they said there was a weak draft.
Yeah,
overall.
really weak. And they made it work, man.
With the perfect teamwork, I gotta say, it was more of a teamwork than the draft, I have to say again. And with that, it'll be 3-1 Tempest with the perfect game, actually. Game number 4. And we'll see the next matchup, as we already introduced along with the interview, will be a big, possibly the biggest match of phase number 2, part 1.
Yeah.